Hi, I am Jamie, your narrator, and welcome to my channel.
For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to first put down my cup liners. These I get at Daiso. The first one I'm going to put in some roasted peanuts, and then I have some sauteed mushrooms, which is just sauteed in a simple soy sauce and some olive oil. Next, I'm going to slice up some vegetables, and to keep it easy, I just use these sauces from McDonald's all the time. This one's honey mustard. And for the main portion, since it's been super hot outside, I'm going to be making some cold soba noodles. These are super easy to make. I just boil up the noodles and then give them a rinse under some cold water. Then I place down some tempura shrimp, which I get from the frozen section, and I just air fry them up. Then I garnish it with some scallions, and in a separate little container I'm going to pour in some soba noodle sauce, which is just pre-made, and I get it at the store. I like adding green onions and some wasabi. And now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all up, and of course including a note to tell my husband to enjoy the nudes. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to pack in some boiled bean sprouts. This is just a simple Korean side dish. Next, I'm going to lay down some parchment paper and cut up some fruit. Today I have strawberries and apples. Yesterday, my husband and I went and got some dim sum, so I was able to bring back some steamed custard buns, which are my favorite. So I packed one of those in there, along with some sliced radish. For the main portion, I'm going to be doing an unagi bowl. First, I torched my unagi to give it a nice roasted char flavor. Then I lay it over a bed of fresh rice. And if you guys don't know, unagi is freshwater eel that typically is roasted and then topped with a soy sauce glaze. And it's super good, and it's one of my favorites whenever I go to a Japanese restaurant. Back to the lunch, I packed in some egg omelet, some cherry tomatoes, and then I garnished with some parsley. And now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all up into my new bento box from Bento Heaven. And of course, I can't forget the note for my husband. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to start by packing in some strawberries. I did some fun zigzag cutouts for those, and then I also peeled up some lychee. It's kind of hard to describe the flavor of these, but they're really sweet and I love having them around this time of the year. Next, I sliced up some radishes, which is something my husband likes to have on their own. Lastly, I'm going to pack in these chickpea veggie chips, which are my new favorite. I did pack this lunch in the morning, so hopefully those chips stay nice and crisp until lunch. And for the main portion, I'm going to be making a chicken salad. First, I lay down my romaine lettuce, then top it with some sliced cucumber, some carrots, red onion, and then some cherry tomatoes. For the protein, I have some leftover air-fried chicken nuggets that I made the other night. I cut them up into bite-sized pieces and put them on top. And now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all up, and of course including a note for my husband. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to start with the top portion just like I always do, and today I'm going to make a simple caprese salad with tomatoes, mozzarella, and some fresh basil. Then I packed in some sweet and salty trail mix. Of course, I can't forget the balsamic vinegar that I went ahead and drizzled over the caprese salad. For the fruit, I'm going to pack in some sliced golden kiwi, and I know this is like about the 4th time doing it, but when you buy them, you just buy them in bulk. Lastly, I'm going to pack in some half-sour pickles, which this brand is my absolute favorite to snack on. And for the main portion, I'm going to be doing some kimchi cauliflower rice with chicken in it, and the recipe for this will be coming up next. And then I topped it off with some green onions, some sesame seeds, and parsley. Now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all up, and of course including a note for my husband. And this time, I didn't really have anything super funny to say, but that's all I got. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to be making a pride-themed lunch. For the top portion, I'm going to cut up some fruit and vegetables to make a rainbow color spread. For the red portion, I did some strawberries, and then I have golden kiwi, which is perfect for the yellow, and then I have orange bell pepper. And for the green, I wanted to do some broccoli or spinach, but all I had was pickles. And I didn't have anything blue, but I have these radishes to do purple. Even though Pride Month has been going on for quite a while, I couldn't make this lunch without first getting my nails done. So that's why it took me so long to finally make something. And for the main portion, I'm going to be making some Spam sushi with some rainbow colored rice. For the filling, I did Spam and egg, and I rolled those all up. I'm so glad that these turned out really nice because my first attempt did not look pretty. And these turned out quite beautifully, and I'll show you how to do them in my next video. Now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all up, and of course including a note saying love is love, happy Pride Month everyone. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to start by packing in some fruit, and today I have some golden kiwi that I went ahead and peeled and sliced. This is by far one of our favorite fruits, and I definitely prefer the gold over the green since it's a lot sweeter. Next, I'm packing in a handful of peanuts, and then I sliced up some radishes, which I guess is something my husband likes to munch on, and he actually eats them plain and on their own. And lastly, I packed in a banana chocolate chip muffin. And for the main portion, I'm going to be packing in some meatballs that are Parmesan truffle flavored, and the recipe for those is already up. After they're done cooking in my air fryer, I went ahead and packed some in, and then lastly, I have some steamed broccoli. For the final touches, I went ahead and made some heart-shaped carrot cutouts just for fun, and then topped those meatballs with some more Parmesan. And that's pretty much it. Now that it's ready to go, I'm packing it up, and of course including a note for my husband. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to start by packing in some baked chickpeas. This was the first time making them, and I think I might have overdone them just a little, but they were still good and really crunchy. Next, I'm going to pack in some apple slices, and to go with that, I also have some almond butter. I really love dipping my apples into almond butter, and I hope my husband likes this combination too, since this will be his first time having it. Then I made this cucumber sandwich snack thing, which one side has cream cheese and everything but the bagel seasoning, and then the other has some pepperoni slices. I then cut them up and put them onto skewers. And for the main portion, I'm going to lay down some lettuce so I can place down my chicken salad. I kept the chicken salad pretty simple with some cut up cucumber. I also added some mayo, mustard, and some seasonings, and then I also cut up some green grapes to go in there as well. Then I pack in some Ritz crackers, and that's pretty much it. Next, I'm going to pack everything up and of course include a note for my husband. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to be packing in some shredded cabbage along with some canned corn. This is a pretty simple salad that is often served at Japanese or Korean restaurants. For the dressing, it's super simple. It's just mayo and ketchup, and then I add a little bit of water to thin it out. Then I packed in some fresh green grapes. And I've been super obsessed with making star-shaped cutouts for my fruit, so I went ahead and did that to a strawberry. For the main portion, I'm going to be making some simple beef bulgogi. To make it easy, I'm going to be using this Korean barbecue marinade sauce to flavor my beef and vegetables. Typically, beef bulgogi is used with thinly sliced brisket, but I only had ground beef on hand. After packing that in there, I'm going to sprinkle on some green onions and then some sesame seeds. Then I took some carrots and made some flour cutouts just to top it off, and that's pretty much it. Now that the lunch is ready to go, I'm going to pack it all up and of course include a note to remind my husband that I'm thinking of him. For my husband's lunch, we're going to actually be going on a more healthier journey since we both want to shed a couple pounds for hot girl summer. Just kidding, more like hot couple summer, maybe? Anyways, back to the lunch. I packed in some grapes and then cut some into some pretty star-shaped, added one hard-boiled egg, a granola bar, and then a handful of peanuts. And for the main portion, I'm going to be keeping it pretty low carb by doing some chicken buffalo lettuce wraps. First, I've got some shredded chicken breasts and then added our favorite buffalo sauce, shredded up some carrots and cucumber, and then placed in my romaine lettuce leaves and filled each of those with the chicken. Finishing off with the cucumber and shredded carrots, and that's pretty much it. These are pretty filling and satisfying, which are both things that I try to accomplish when we're dieting. Luckily, they don't lack any flavor, but now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all up and of course including a note to remind my husband that I'm thinking of him. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to start by making some cucumber snack bites. First, I'm going to remove the seeds from the middle of the cucumber and stuff them with thinly sliced carrots and some turkey deli meat. Then I cut them into bite-sized pieces and added some toothpicks to keep them together. After packing those in there, I'm going to pair it with some ranch dipping sauce and then adding some cherry tomatoes. Then I cut up some orange slices and added those in as well, along with some blackberries. Lastly, since you can never go wrong with some Oreos, I'm going to add in a couple of those as well. And for the main portion, I'm going to be packing in some leftover chicken and dumplings that my husband and I had the other night. This dish turned out super delicious, and this recipe is already up in my previous video, so please check that out if you would like to give it a try. And for the final touches, I'm going to sprinkle on some green onions. And now that the lunch is ready to go, I'm packing it all up and of course including a note to remind my husband that I'm thinking of him.